All right, so today's video I have a collaboration between Nike and Off-White, and this is the Vaporstreet model. It's kind of like Virgil's version of the Vaporstreet, but I personally think this might be one of the worst Off-White releases to date. And stick around in the video and let me try to explain why. What is going on, guys? Hass here, collectivekicks.com. If you guys would like to shop this week's top sneaker deals, check the link in the description, and happy shopping. If you guys are also searching for a pair of these, you can also check the description. So when these released, they actually had 3 different colorways that dropped. In my opinion, this might be the ugliest out of the 3. Obviously, the shoes are geared towards women, but sometimes there's some good crossovers and some colorways of women's shoes that release. And as an example of that, this is the Terra Kygers right here, and I actually really like this colorway quite a bit. And I think that this pack was actually pretty good. I think that this pack was received a little bit better than the other one, but this one still had a lot of people on the fence because of these weird little spikes on the bottom. Now, just for those people wondering, this is not a performance pair of sneakers. I mean, I get it. It's confusing because there's like little spikes all over the bottom of the shoe, but this is not a shoe for actually doing track and field in. I mean, it's called the Athlete in Progress for a reason, I think. But yeah, for those people that thought that this was like real track spikes, they're just big, giant, ridiculous rubber nibs on the bottom of the shoe. That'll give you a little bit of extra float room on the bottom, but they definitely don't feel really great on feet. Now, I kind of experienced some of that on this shoe already, but look at the difference between the two. You could see a really wide track pattern on the front. Then in the back, it's just super duper narrow on the Vaporstreets. Because of how narrow the back section is of the shoe, that paired with these really weird nibs would seem like they could be a falling hazard for those people that are wearing these shoes. So a couple things to note, though. This is a Vaporstreet model, but it's definitely his version of the Vaporstreet. The midsole is pretty much the same exact thing as the Vaporstreets, from what I gather, with the huge, ridiculous horn on the back. Then you have the weird spikies on the bottom. The upper, though, is nothing like the Vaporstreet. The Vaporstreets actually had a different upper that looked more like the Elite joints that the marathon runner dude had. This, though, looks like a waffle racer in a sense or something like that, with a really weird snakeskin upper over top of it. Not the first time we've seen a shedding skin on a pair of sneakers. There was a pair of Christmas Kobe's that had like a shedding skin as well. That was a little bit interesting, but I don't really know how I feel about this one. Now, I saw Cousteau actually took the net off of his, which I thought was a cool move. If I would have had these first, I probably would have done the same thing just to see what it would have looked like. But then you do lose a little bit of the, the off-white factor with the swoosh and then the branding on the side of the shoe, because this is usually stamped on the inside, but on this case it's just on this weird little outside section. The other thing that sets this shoe apart from some of the other ones is the way they did the secondary lacing up the shoe, which is totally non-functional, but it adds a little bit of extra creativity, I guess, to the shoe. Anyway, overall, I think that this is probably one of the worst executed off-white sneakers so far, and we've had quite a few of them. But it's also the one that is reselling the lowest. Off-White, the name itself, usually is selling the bizarre looking sneakers like this because you have the Off-White tag on it, the shoe, as well as just the Off-White-esque sort of look with the little things on it that kind of differentiate it from the other sneakers on the market. That's great and all, but was it enough to carry the sneaker? In some cases, yes, even if the sneakers are not very dope. But in this case, I think that the sneakers were just so not even okay looking that a lot of people ended up passing. But you guys can help me out and leave a comment in the comment section. Like, did you have a chance to get these at retail? Did you pass them still? Leave a comment and let me know. The price point on the box of these are $190 though. The Vaporstreets themselves didn't sell out very well. It's just so darn narrow that somebody with like flat, wide feet, I'm just like, this is really, really tough for me to pull off. It's also a really, really tall shoe. Like, look at the difference in height on these two sneakers in here. These ones just look like platforms. They're so ginormous looking. So that's the other thing that kind of throws me off a little bit. It's just so much higher off the ground than even the Vaporstreets are. I will say also that I'm just not a fan of the color blockings. All 3 of them, they're just mediocre in my opinion. And again, this one's the worst out of the 3. It feels like they could have just represented the sneakers a little bit better with better colors than what they had. A couple of the design elements that I do like, though, you do have the raw edge tongue, similar to a lot of the other off-white sneakers, and then it has that old traditional Nike logo font up here, which is kind of nice. Since this is kind of a nod to being a track shoe, that's kind of nice that it has the old font at least. I do like the weird double laces, even though it's non-functional. Also interesting, you have rope on top of the regular white flat laces. Other than that, I do like that there is a couple other panels on the bottom, 3 sections of the darker blue and then the lighter blue on the shoe. And then you do have a pink swoosh on the inside and the giant yellow swoosh on the outside with the little orange tag, which is something that we know is the off-white sort of thing. But it's not enough to carry the shoe, in my opinion. Just too much other oddities going on with this to really not make it as desirable as maybe people thought it would have been. I think if you had the proper coloring on the shoe that tied things together, it probably would have looked a little bit better. It's just so much of a hodgepodge. Anyways, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the Vaporstreets with the Virgil collaboration. Is it something that you guys passed on again or not? I mean, I'm just curious to see if you guys would have been able to get these for retail. What would you have done? And I think that the aftermarket is just going to keep dropping. It's not going to be that good. Same thing kind of happened on these as well. Originally, there was a little bit of resale. Prices have dipped quite a bit, and then they've gone up and then down. Mostly they're down, though, across the board from when they released. Wondering if this shoe is going to rebound or not, because this is one of 3 that looks somewhat similar. This is the second one, and then they have another one that's coming out, too, that looks a little bit similar but different. Again, I don't know. I just don't think that they're really commanding the demand that they want for this off-white brand as of right now. But also, they do have the Jordan 5 that's supposedly going to be coming out in February. I think those look fresh personally, but I'm a huge Jordan 5 fan. I like the subtle changes that they made to the shoe, but I definitely want to see more. And yeah, it would be interesting to see how that one ends up. But I don't think that Off-White's dead by any means. All they have to do is create some other cool stuff. Legitimately, though, this is just not one of those things that I thought was cool. That's just my thoughts on the shoe. I don't think it was just one of those power moves from Nike and Off-White. Anyways, that's all we have for this video. I have a bunch of other random videos that are going to be coming to you guys, so subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Notification bell to be notified of when my videos go live. And we'll see you guys for some more videos very soon. Peace, guys.